kind Heavenly Father, today it's with joy and appreciation that we come just to acknowledge you as the one who has brought us this far. Lord, we thank you for your goodness towards us. You have been so patient with us. You've been so kind to us. That this morning we just want to recognize that it is because of you that we have gotten this far. And so as we come to celebrate with our students their accomplishment thus far, a milestone in their experience, I ask, oh God, that you will be with them from this day forward, that you will continue to chart the course of their lives and may they walk with you as we've taught them to, so that in the trying moments ahead, they will know that they can trust you. When they celebrate accomplishments, they will always recognize you as the source of their success. And when situations arise and they are bewildered and confused, they will know that they can turn to you for divine guidance. Oh, their God, they have learned to know that there is a God who loves them infinitely more than they know, and they can trust you at every step of their journey. So today again, we thank you for where they are, and we ask that you continue to go with them into the future, for you have a plan for their future to give them hope and success. We thank you for the success that lies ahead for them and for their commitment to stand to the challenges and to hold your hand and allow you to walk them through the various experiences they will experience along the way. And then, oh God, we pray that their lives will be a blessing to this nation, and wherever in the world they go, they will remember the God who goes before them. We thank you in Jesus' name. Amen.
Our scripture reading this morning is taken from Luke chapter 16, verse 10, and I'm reading your hearing. He that is faithful in that which is least is faithful also in much. And he that is unjust in the least is unjust also in much.
Una muy buena mañana para nuestro distinguido invitado. A very special good morning goes out to a very distinguished guest, Principal, Vice Principal, Valedictorian, graduates, peers, teachers, students, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of Caribbean Union College Secondary School of SDA, it is my sincere honor to welcome each and everyone witnessing the success of our graduating students of 2011. Today's event will prove to be a fine example of the harmony, unity, tolerance, and the respect that is encouraged no matter what religion or race that we are born into. To the graduates, I want you, as you take another step of your life, to welcome every morning with a smile. Look on the new day as another special gift from your Creator, another golden opportunity to complete what you were unable to finish yesterday, for you were not born to fail. And to all of you, we do thank you for being a part of this special occasion. We are honored indeed. Aloha, shalom, welcome, benvidos, benvenu, benvenido, bienvenido, welcome.
After a welcome like that, I can only talk two languages. I am a fluent speaker of Trinbagonian, and I attempt the Queen's English from now and then. From time to time, I attempt the Queen's English. So I will not dare step into the realm of those linguists. Director of Education, Mrs. Jessica Cunningham, school supervisors, Mr. Aaron Smith and Mr. Ashram Dioraj, or Representative Pastor Henry Stan, Chairman of the Board. Our featured presenter for today, Mrs. Nikias Joseph McKenna, Dr. Gardner, all representatives of the University of the Southern Caribbean, members of staff at Caribbean Union College Secondary School, President of the PTA, Mr. Alvin Bullard, parents, guardians, well-wishers, class of 2011. And I am seeing some of my fellow principals as well. Any member of the board who is here, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning. Good morning. Right. Yeah, I need you to be with me. No, we could do all sorts of things in life. We could look at life from varying perspectives. But I would be very short this morning as I just highlight a couple of things. First of all, let me just say thanks. And at the same time I'm saying thanks, I am going to just give you a small inkling as to why we are here this morning. You would know that your invitation stated the graduation ceremony is going to be at the USC Auditorium, and that is exactly what the intent was up until yesterday, when we discovered through no fault of ours that the auditorium would not be available for us today. And the news greeted me on the way to work yesterday. I have to say I was very upset when I got the news. But I could have decided to throw a tantrum and then we would not have anything happen. Or I could have decided to just call everybody and say, yes, forget it. But God is good. And the reason why I want to say thanks is because the facilities coordinator for the university would have ensured that this area was prepared so that even though the auditorium is unavailable, we are still able to be here today and to have a good time. Because you see, today is not just about where we are, it's about where we can be. And it's probably ironic that we are here, because, you know, as I was thinking about it, a lot of times you have all sorts of plans and projections in terms of how things will go and where you will be at different times in your life and so on. And then life throws you a curveball. Or if we want to put it in more in the context of the Caribbean setting, somebody some of these guys here wouldn't understand what I'm talking about, but I'm sure the parents will be able to relate to that. Unfortunately for this group of young people, West Indies cricket is no longer something that is desirous to be followed, but life will sometimes throw you something that you don't expect. And what makes a difference in terms of those who are successful and those who are not is those who are able to cope with the unexpected curves that life will send your way, and cope with it and still be able to give your best. The class of 2011, and as I look through the class. I remember some of these faces on their first day of school. And 5 years is a lot of time. You know, I mean, I should have brought a picture of what some of you look like on day one and let you look at yourself then and look at yourself now and see if that 5 years has done you good or if it has proven to be distressing and hard. But you know, the beauty of it is that you are here today. You know, some people who were here on day one with you, not here today. You understand? And then we have those who will have joined us along the way, some as recently as this year, and all part of the beautiful journey, the beautiful experience that is only shared by students of Caribbean Union College Secondary School. Let me tell you something. You are a special group of young people, and nobody else could say that they had what you had. So you should be proud of that. Nobody else could say that. And the fact that you are here today is in itself an achievement. And I want to congratulate all of you, and you can give them a round of applause for me. I want to congratulate all of you for being here today. But of course, you could not have completed this journey by yourselves. And parents, this is for you. Parents, all the parents and guardians who would have toiled with them for the last 5 years, 6 years, 4 years, 3 years, 2 years, 1 year, or a few months. All the parents who would have toiled with you during that period of time while we shared time here together at CUC Secondary. I know it wasn't always an easy journey, but you did. You stood by your child. You stood by that child who you were responsible for, and today we are here to celebrate their success. I don't know if they fully understand the sentiments of that theme. I will not go into it because I'm sure that the feature just speaker will do justice to it, but I want them to just think about it. I will just highlight a couple other things and then I will take my seat. This year has been a good one for CUC Secondary. Of course, there's always room for things to be better, but this year has been a good one for CUC Secondary. And we want to thank God Almighty for taking us through the year 2010-2011, the school year. And I just want to thank all those students who in your time during the last year would have contributed to the successes that CUC Secondary would have realized. Some of the members of the graduating class here are members of the school choir, and the school choir would have taken part in the Sandfest competition and would have come out on top in one of the categories. As a matter of fact, they would have qualified for the finals in all 3 categories that they would have entered in, which would have been gospel, folk, and national song. And they came out tops in the folk category, so we want to congratulate them for that. Also in the graduating class for this year, we have the top male soloist, vocal soloist for Sandfest 2010, Mr. Aldon Lewis. And of course, these are a couple of the things that would have put the school on the national grid for this year. We had students taking part in the NGC, I have to take my time to say this, gas rush competition. It's the name is quick, but you have to take your time as you bite up your tongue. And they would have gotten all the way to the top 8 of those schools within Trinidad and Tobago who would have taken part in that competition. So we want to congratulate the students who took part in that. We had students, yeah, you could do that. We had students also representing the school at the WASA in the know with each throw competition as well, and they would have gotten as far as the top 16, and I understand there were over 116 schools that entered the competition to start with, so that we want to congratulate them for that. And you see, these things are some of the opportunities that will just allow students to experience more than just the academic part of school life. And one of the things I want to encourage the students, even as you go on your journey from this point, as I said earlier, life is going to present you with all sorts of opportunities, and what makes a difference is how you approach the opportunities that come your way. We would have, of course, done some upgrade to the school plant as well during the year, and the experience of yesterday and today, where we had to be relocated to this place, is probably a good signal for us to ensure that we move forward and get the new school plant constructed. You know, students always come back to CUC Secondary and say, "So, but when we was here, I didn't do this and I didn't do that." Well, here's what. I want this group of students to come back and say, "But when we was here, I didn't build new schools, or while I building it now." As I always tell the students, I say, well, we have to take it one day at a time. We can't do everything when you're here. If we do everything when you are here, then it leaves nothing for those who have to come behind, and it leaves nothing for you to contribute to. So those students who will move on from this point and become very successful in whatever endeavors you pursue in life, remember, CUC Secondary is always home. And of course, your success would not be complete without the efforts of the teachers at CUC Secondary. And I really want to say thanks to the dedicated, hard-working staff that we have. I can't do this by myself. I could not have done this by myself. I want to thank them very much, and I trust that as we continue in our journey through life, you as students, with the support of your parents, with the support of your good friends, with the support of those positive individuals who are around you, will indeed be faithful to the finish. Thank you very much.
Good morning, everyone. I'm here to introduce the anthem by the school choir. And Mr. Hislop spoke about googly and bouncer and so on. I think there's a new board because we have all in one, googly, bouncer and everything. But those who are representing the choir would come forward now. We have just a few behind. So we'll ask them to come forward. And some of the students of the graduating class will also join us as we sing a very important item here. So if you come forward now, we will try to do this number for you. This is a time when we have a lot of things going on in the world, and this song would have been a reminder to young people that they ought to stay away from drugs. Watch Out My Children is the name of this song.
poets about my white powder. And you don't want to powder your face, want to bring shame and disgrace to the human race. Watch out, my children. Watch out, my children. It's never for the policy poets about my white powder. And you don't want to powder your face, want to bring shame and disgrace to the human race. Shame and disgrace to the human race. Shame and disgrace to the human
Good morning, everyone. It is now time for special greetings, and these greetings will come to us from the Parent Teachers Association of Caribbean Union College Secondary School, the University of the Southern Caribbean, the Educational Department of Seventh-day Adventists, the School Board of Caribbean Union College Secondary School, the Ministry of Education of Trinidad and Tobago, and also the President of the Association of Principals of SDA Schools. Each person will have 2 minutes. Thank you.
The esteemed featured speaker, representative from the Ministry of Education, Mr. Ashram Deiraj, Dr. Trevor Gardner, or his representative, chairperson of the CUC Secondary School Board and other members of the board, principal, Mr. Leslie Hislop and staff, specially invited guests, including principals of our primary schools, parents, boys and girls, and of course the graduating class of 2011. It is my pleasure this morning to bring you greetings on behalf of the administration of the South Caribbean Conference, that is the President, Pastor Dr. Kern Tobias, Pastor Leslie Moses, our Executive Secretary, and Brother John Mahade, our Treasurer. It is also my pleasure to bring you greetings on behalf of the Office of Education, myself as the Director, the Assistant Director, Mrs. Frederick, Mr. Aaron Smith, our school supervisor, and all our principals and staff and so on from all our schools. First of all, I would like to congratulate the graduating class of 2011 for having reached this particular finish line. But I want to tell you that all of us have started because we are here, and for certainty there's a finish. But you do not want to arrive at the finish line and wonder how you got there, or you are surprised that you got there in the first place. And this is why the key word in your theme is faithful, the concept of being faithful. And I want to tell you that first of all, you have to be faithful to your God. You have to be faithful to the positive values that you were taught by your parents and teachers. You also have to be faithful to your relationships. Right? Of course, you have friends, you would have boyfriends and girlfriends, you would later on have spouse, you would have children, and a whole host of relationships that you would need to display loyalty or faithfulness in. You will also need to be faithful to your employer later on. And of course, you will need to be faithful to your pursuits, your dreams, your goals, your aspirations. And I want to say that at the end of the day, if you are faithful, and very important, you need to be faithful to the small things in life. Because at the end of the day, it is not your big dreams and goals and aspirations that are important. Yes, they are. But if you are faithful in the small things, then definitely faithfulness in the big things will come. And if you are faithful in the small things and you are faithful in the big things, then the text, the class text you have chosen, he who endures to the end, who is faithful to the end, shall inherit. And I would not define what you will inherit, but you will inherit all the good things that God has in store for you. So again, congratulations and greetings on behalf of the administration and Office of Education.
morning, everybody. It's a pleasure to be here this morning to see so many eager, smiling, and enjoyable faces. Mr. Chairman, the guest speaker, representative of the Ministry of Education, the members of the school board, the principal, special invited guests, parents, graduating class of 2011, ladies and gentlemen. Graduation. I still have the little butterflies in my stomach when I remember graduation day. It's a special day. And I want to assure you one thing. This day for you, graduate, will never come back. It's a fact. Even this group will never meet again as the same group. So today is a really special day. I want you to savor the taste of it. Savor it, enjoy it, and it will go down in your memory as a red letter day. For some parents, it begins or it marks the start of loneliness because it's your only child and next in the house is empty. For other parents, it's the first child, but it's like the opening to a new horizon. For other parents, it's with mixed feeling. You're wondering, what's going to happen next? Is my child going to succeed? In fact, a parent called me, was speaking to me. A friend of mine talking to me Wednesday. She said, my child has her BSc and now working on her master's. She can only find an OJT. Those are the kind of mixed feelings you have, you know. You're graduating, you're achieving, but what does the future hold for you? That's why I say today is a really real letter day. It's a special day. So where you are now, enjoy it, and make sure you enjoy the company you're with now, because you will never have that same company again in the future. One thought I want to leave with you as you walked into the auditorium here. I remember John in Revelation saying, and after that, I saw a host which no man can number. And I thought to myself, is this what it will look like when we march into heaven? What do you think? May God bless you. I want to see you there. We're marching together. Thank you very much.
Morning to everyone. All protocol, observe, although it is not protocol, but Trinidadians do anything. Mr. Principal, esteemed graduates, I like your team very much, faithful to the finish. And I do hope that you will be faithful in everything that you do, in all your pursuits of life, that you will be faithful. And at the end, you shall receive your just reward. I just want to say on behalf of the Principal Association of Seventh-day Adventists, we'd like to congratulate you on the stride you have made in your academic sojourn. And we do hope and pray that as you continue to pursue greater heights in the arena of education, that you will be successful in all endeavors. Again, I want to say congratulations, and on behalf of the Principals Association of Seventh-day Adventists, all the best, and go with God's speed.
Director of Education, South Caribbean Conference, Mrs. Jessica Cunningham. School Supervisor, South Caribbean Conference, Mr. Aaron Smith. Other officers of the South Caribbean Conference of Seventh-day Adventists. School Supervisor 2 from the Ministry of Education, Mr. Ashram Viraj, Board's representative. Chairman of the School Board, Mr. Henry Snag, and other members of our school board. President of the University of the Southern Caribbean, Dr. Trevor Gardner, and other representatives of the university, Principal, Mr. Leslie Hislop, and the staff of Caribbean Union College Secondary School, our PTA President, Mr. Alwyn Bullard, and other representatives of our PTA, specially invited guests, parents, guardians, friends, well-wishers, graduates, ladies and gentlemen. It is both an honor and a privilege to be able to introduce you to a role model and a lady of distinction who has gladly consented to address you today. Ms. Nikes Joseph McKenna is no stranger to CC Secondary School. She is actually only returning home. Although her years do not stretch far into history, she comes to us with a wealth of experience. In fact, she is a graduate and a candidate of University of the West Indies, and she has been a teacher for 9 years, teaching at Hammond School of SDA in Tobago, and right here at CUC Secondary School. After her sojourn with us, she went on to the University of Trinidad and Tobago and has been with them as instructor of applied arts, technology and applied arts, and English, communication, life skills for technicians. You see, her experience is numerous. I'm not going to mention all of it. In addition to that, she loves to work with young people. And because of that, she works at the Mova Seventh-day Adventist Church in the youth ministry as education secretary, as communication secretary. She works along doing service at the University of Trinidad and Tobago. I'll take my time and say it. Therefore, please join me in welcoming to address you this morning with her words of wisdom on Faithful to the Finish, our guest speaker, Ms. Nikes Joseph McKenna.
Thank you, Ms. Vanessa Gunn-Edwards, for your words of welcome. Representatives of the South Caribbean Conference of Seventh-day Adventists, Mrs. Jessica Cunningham, Director of Education, representatives of the Ministry of Education, representatives of the University of the Southern Caribbean, the chairman and members of the school board, Caribbean Union College Secondary School, Mr. Leslie Hislop, Principal, Caribbean Union College Secondary School, teachers and members of staff, PTA executive, parents, guardians, graduating class of 2011, ladies and gentlemen, good day. Now, Ms. Gunn-Edwards did me an extreme favor in saying that I've been teaching for 9 years. That means I should have shaved some years off of my life, and for that I'm extremely grateful. In fact, I've been a teacher for over 15 years, and most of those years I would have spent right here at CUC Secondary School. So truly it is a sort of homecoming for me to have been asked to address this August group and occasion this morning. Like the other speakers so far, I'm extremely privileged to speak on your theme, Faithful to the Finish. And I'm sure that in your minds, graduating class of 2011, you'd have thought of those words, you'd have thought of what it means to be faithful, and you'd have thought as well as about what a finish really is. So today we're going to talk a little bit about it, and we're going to take the slant of looking at faithfulness to duty. Faithfulness to duty. Now, many, many years ago when I was a graduate from a secondary school in Belmont, we sang a song on our graduation day. And it's a song that I'm sure that many of you in gowns and mortarboards this morning are not familiar with. It's a Diana Ross song entitled Do You Know? The theme from Mahogany. Anybody here is familiar with that song? And if the parents or guardians know that song, I expect you to know it. All right. So graduating class of 2011, the CXC examinations are over. The uniforms are over. The SBAs are over. How do you feel? I expected that. However, as Mr. Hislop would have indicated earlier on, this milestone that you have achieved and that you are recognizing today was not possible through your strength alone. There were a number of persons who stood with you. And once more, I would like you to join me in putting our hands together and giving a round of applause to our teachers, our parents, and all our support friends. Thank you very much. As you pause to recognize your transition from one stage of life to another, it is imperative that we realistically contemplate the purpose for which we have been created and how we accomplish this purpose. That is what faithful to the finish means. Identifying your purpose in life and staying the course. Once you identify it, remaining faithful to it. As intelligent beings, at some point in our lives, we ask three very critical questions. Why am I here? What is my purpose? What is my duty to God and my fellow man? The Bhagavad Gita, I'm sure most of you are familiar with that holy book, says, it is better to perform one's own duties imperfectly than to master the duties of another. By fulfilling the obligations he is born with, a person never comes to grief. My challenge to this brilliant group of young men and women, what do you understand by the word duty? Somebody tell me. It means? Oh dear. Now I'm going to have to pick on somebody, and since this young man in front of me is smiling so nicely, I'm going to ask you, what do you understand by duty? Responsibility. Perfect answer. Let's put our hands together for him. So when we think about duty, we are really talking about a moral or legal obligation, a responsibility, what is required of a person. In order for any of us to experience true success and genuine happiness in life, we must first discover and fulfill our duty to God and to our fellow men. Obedience to the call of duty is imperative to the achievement of success and happiness in this life. Have you heard the voice of duty and its unique, very special call on your life? Obedience, and by extension, faithfulness to the call is one thing. But how can you obey the call if you are unwilling to discern the voice of duty? The world today is a very noisy place. There are many voices competing for your attention. Can you tell me some of those voices? What are some of those things that are competing constantly for our time and attention? What are some of them? Facebook? No, Facebook is not one. What else? The games and SpongeBob. Yeah, I know that you all like SpongeBob. You try to convince me of otherwise. Excuse me. In this environment of bedlam, hearing the voice of the call of duty on your life is a major challenge. Let's consider for a little while some of the distractions that could steal your attention away from the call of duty. And I chose to speak firstly about money. Have you considered as yet your career goals? What would you like to become in the next few years? What would you like to become? An interior designer, a manager, anybody else? Right, I'm sure some of you are thinking about it. The world tells us to get rich or die trying. Imagine what a concept from a man who calls himself and encourages others to call him a mere 50 cents. And what if duty calls you to a vocation that does not attract top dollars? What if duty calls you to be a nurse? Anybody wants to be a nurse? Or a teacher? Anyone wants to be a teacher? Or a homemaker? Should you ignore the fulfillment of your own duty in favor of more lucrative options? Is money, after all, the most important thing? Today, there are many well-paid, unhappy, unfulfilled professionals who struggle to find meaning in their lives in spite of their multi-figure salaries or staggering profits. I am not here to attack the benefits of acquiring wealth. By all means, seek a comfortable life. But should you attempt to gain the whole world and in that process lose your own soul? Secondly, immediate gratification. Anyone here is familiar with the cartoon or the Muppet character Narayan? Yes. I know you would know Narayan. One of Narayan's most famous lines would be, I want my food and I want it. Right. And that seems to be typical of this impatient age. The impatience of this age has brought us some benefits. Technologies born of growing impatience allow us to do many things with greater time, efficiency than we were able to do 10 or even 5 years ago. We travel faster, we communicate faster, we cook faster, and we certainly access information much faster than ever before. But patience is still a virtue. A definite downside, and there are many, of our culture of impatience is our growing inability to practice the discipline of postponing present gratification for future gain. It's the reason why too many of us find it difficult to save money. It is also the reason why many students your own age, graduating from high school and desiring immediate financial independence, would make no plans to further their education, grades notwithstanding. Instead, they prematurely drop out of school to enter an often hostile job environment, accepting whatever wages are offered to the inexperienced young person with only O-level passes. I acknowledge that for some, their circumstances constrain them to do such. But if it is a choice to engage in honest work, then go ahead. For others, however, early entry into the job market might be necessary in order to accumulate the means to advance themselves toward the call of duty. But for too many, the choice to drop out of school and prematurely enter the job market is born of impatience and the desire to immediately gratify the desire for a modicum financial independence and with it access to material goods. You want the car, you want the house that you see advertised on television, you want to travel. Many have observed that in our own society, this, I'm saying, it's never said as you want to bling. In our own society, this peculiar distraction from duty affects our boys far more than it affects our girls. Perhaps the reason for this is that there are apparently more opportunities for young men to find duty-distracting employment than there are opportunities for young ladies. This malady would become even truer if PH taxis ever become legalized in this country. For a young man, a work and keep arrangement with the owner of a Nissan B14 or 15 could be a most alluring distraction from the pursuit of duty. So too could a laborer's job on a construction site. If it is your noble duty to be a taxi operator, or a mason, or building contractor, such opportunities may be viable entries into dutiful vocations. And if so, whatever your hands find it to do it with all your might. If, however, the conviction of duty calls you elsewhere, the attraction to immediate earnings that such employment would offer could really be a distraction from fulfilling your duty. Prestige and fame. For some, success is measured in what you can attain. Again, the house, the cars, the music systems. What if your duty, your purpose, your real purpose, does not propel you into the bright lights? Should it be scorned for the pursuit of prestige and fame? Peer pressure. Should you choose a career path and life path based on the popular choices your influential peers are making or say that they are making? Are you going to study engineering because the most popular student in 5A has decided that he or she is going to study engineering? And what about that 5C student? We have a 5C? Where are the 5C students? Somehow 5C in my days was always the most mischievous class. I don't know if that has changed. Some things don't change. So will you be a doctor, will you be a nurse, will you be that professional just because the rest of your class decides that they are going to? Should you shut your ears to the call of duty and entertain that which is popular among your peers? After all, if we do the same things, we will perhaps go to the same university and we could continue to be together. But that is just delaying the inevitable. You will not always be together. So you need to begin charting your own individual course. Parental pressure. For this one, I just want to look a little further into the audience and address our parents and guardians. We know, we understand parents that you are well-meaning, that you are supportive, and that you have big dreams for your children. However, in your anxiety to guarantee the success of your children, sometimes you ask them to live your dreams. You ask them, you become jealously prescriptive of the path to success that your children must choose and follow for themselves. I have, in the course of my responsibilities at UTT, I've seen and counseled many, many young students who got into the engineering field because it was popular or because their parents told them that's where the money is. And by the end of the second semester into their course of study, many of them are disappearing. It wasn't what they wanted to do. It wasn't the course that they would have chosen for themselves. But they stuck with it for 2 semesters, or some of them dropped out even before that, because their parents had pushed them in that direction. Our young people cannot continue to live our parents' dreams. Parents, your responsibility is to support them as they make wholesome plans for their lives and guide them when you see that they're moving off track. But please, allow them to begin dreaming for themselves and be there to guide them along the course. Youthfulness. Now when we see the youthful energy with which you came into this auditorium this morning, I'm sure that many of the parents, many of the teachers looked at you and remembered 5 years ago, the shy faces, the retiring looks that you would have given to them, and now the confidence that you have developed as a result of your sojourn here at CUC Secondary School. You know what youth says? Youth says, I am young, I am invincible, I have a lot of time to get around to performing my duty. After all, I'm only 16, I'm only 17. Time is the most deceptive of illusions. Trust me, I can remember being 16 and it seemed like just the other day. But in a couple of days, on the 14th of July, together with the other girls from St. Francois Girls College, we'll be celebrating our 20th anniversary, our 20th reunion. We've left school 20 years ago. And to me, it seems like yesterday. The same will be your experience. Class of 2011, let no man despise your youth, but do not let your youth fool you into the comfort of postponing your obedience to the call of duty. Another reason that some persons are unfaithful to duty is the fear. And there are lots of things to be afraid of. A lot of fears that present themselves. For example, the fear of failure. What if I start this but can't do it? What if I'm not bright enough? What if I don't know? And the questions go on and on. There's of course fear of the unfamiliar. CUC Secondary has been a warm, embracing environment. But you need to move on now. So where will you go? Where will September find you? Wherever it does, I hope that you are pursuing your dreams and that you will embrace the new experiences that you are sure to find. The fear of hard work. Do you know Bruno Mars? You know the song? The lazy song? Right. Today I don't feel like doing anything. Now and there really is nothing wrong with taking a lazy day every now and then. I enjoy a lazy day where you just do very little. But for some persons, their entire lives become lazy days. And they do nothing productive with their lives. There's a popular Swahili proverb that instructively says the following of laziness. Laziness and hunger are twins. If you are lazy, then you would automatically be. And who likes to be hungry? None of us. Or you like to be hungry? With all of these noisome distractions that beckon disobedience to the voice of the call of duty, it is important that we deliberately find ways to amplify duty's often soft-spoken voice so that we can hear it and respond to it with due diligence. So how do we recognize the call of duty, the call to responsibility, to finding who we are and what we should do? First and foremost, we need to acknowledge God as the supreme ruler of our lives. The Bible tells us that the fear of God is the beginning of wisdom. It tells us if any man lacks wisdom, what should he do? Ask of God. And in all thy ways we should acknowledge him. Establishing a prayerful relationship with your Creator, just as Daniel did, is key to discovering your purpose for living, your duty. Education. Education should not only be seen as a ticket to a gainful career, a home in a gated community, a fast, luxurious car, travel, designer clothes, and for some people, designer body parts, and fame. Rather, education, rightly used, is an important amplifier of the voice of duty. Education is nothing if it is not a journey of self-discovery. However, if you have not yet consciously used your education experiences to help you distill your strengths, your weaknesses, your talents, your aptitudes, and the vocations that bring you joy, in other words, your duty, it is not too late for you. Education, rightly understood, is a steadfast pursuit of lifelong learning. May I ask of the parents and adults in this auditorium, how many of us are involved in some sort of educational pursuits? May I see your hands? Graduating class, look at the hands around the auditorium. It does not stop when you're 16. The world, one of the more positive elements of our world now, is a commitment to lifelong learning. You are never too old to learn, and we never stop learning. A healthy body and mind is also important to fulfilling your duty. Regular exercise, good nutrition, stress management, because we understand that some stress is good. Did you experience stress while you were doing your CXC, GC exams? And what did the stress encourage you to do? To sleep? No, you had to get up early and you had to review because you were afraid of failing. But you didn't want to fail those subjects. Focus on uplifting things. My friend at the back there, the Facebook giant. Even while you're perusing Facebook, YouTube, and the wider internet, be very careful of what your eyes fall on and what you allow your mind to linger on. There can be some corrupting influences. We need as well supportive parents, good friends, and sound counsel. Choose good friends and lose bad ones. Now I don't want you to answer me, but I'm sure that some of you may have made some not so good friends over the last couple of years. Some friends who may have encouraged you to do things that you know you should not have been doing. Well, this is a good time to either encourage your friends to change or to change your friends. But you should not just have friends from your generation. And this is probably going to sound like some old person speaking to you now, but you should always choose friends intergenerationally. And that means that you should have friends of all ages, not just from your peer group. Cultivate healthy and mutually beneficial friendships with people of different backgrounds. And that's one of the benefits of moving on. You may meet people from the various Caribbean islands, you may meet people from other parts of the world. You learn their culture, they learn yours. Respect sound counsel or sound advice wherever its origin. In other words, be teachable. Class of 2011. Duty seldom reveals itself all at once. You're not going to wake up tomorrow and realize, this is who I am, this is what I'm supposed to be. The answers don't all come immediately. This is, however, no excuse not to engage in planning and goal setting. Faith and optimism are useless without sensible planning for the future. The surest way to fulfill one's duty is to aimlessly wander through life without a plan, without measurable goals. As much as it is important to discover your individual duty or your individual purpose, it is also important to ensure that that purpose benefits your fellow men. The fulfillment of individual duty is solemn responsibility The fulfillment of individual duty, therefore, is a solemn social responsibility, and duty to the call of individual duty impoverishes or makes poor one's community. Think about societies in Trinidad and Tobago. Think about how many selfish people are just seeking their own interests, regardless of how it hurts other people. Is that what you want our society to continue being? Then you can make a change. So there's also a universal duty. We have a duty to be honest. We have a duty to morality and integrity in all our dealings. You have to read the newspaper. I'm sure you see from time to time reports of persons who have been dishonest at the highest level of government sometimes. They're often stripped of their responsibilities as a result. You cannot continue the cycle of dishonesty. You have to be honest, as simple as filling your resume and submitting it to a company for consideration. We saw where that landed us some months ago. Be honest in all your dealings. And you know, there's some other very simple words of advice I'd like to share with you. Be pleasant. When you walk into a room and you see people in that room, smile and say good morning. Long ago, that was the trend, that was the norm. It's very possible now that you can walk into an office, see people there, and just go about your business. But that doesn't get you far. When you talk with somebody, whether it's an interview or somebody's asking you for information, look the person in his or her eyes. That tells that you're honest. Among other things, but it's one of the things that it might tell. It speaks of your confidence level as well. When you pass people on the street, still, be pleasant. Don't push and jostle your way through, insisting that you get there first. It's not about who reaches the finish line first. Notice that there's one person there, but there are multiple footsteps. Everyone can finish this race, and you can help somebody get to the finish line. We have a duty to respect our fellow men, regardless of what they look like, regardless of where they have come from. Mutual respect is important. Honor your parents and your elders. We have a duty to recompense generosity with gratitude. Somebody has been kind to you, be grateful for the kindness. As often as possible, say thank you to people. And when you say thank you, mean it. Smile when you do it. Be patriots of our nation. Hold Trinidad and Tobago in high esteem. Do everything in your power to bring recognition, but good recognition, to Trinidad and Tobago. Remember Caribbean Union College Secondary School and all of the teachers that you've gotten here. Remember your teachers, don't pass them straight on the streets. Call out to them where possible. Honor the earth and preserve its environment. Are you satisfied with our environment? Consider your own children in 15 or 20 years. Is this what you want to give to them? Now we are grown. Many of us and some of us are growing. We have contributed to the degradation of the environment. But now we have an opportunity to help replenish it, even while we advance the value of our civilization. These are duties that we all have in common. Regardless of what I say, however, the Bible summarizes it best. In Ecclesiastes 12:13, we are told, "Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear God and do what? Keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man." So if you didn't hear me, listen to the words of the wise one. Fear God and keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man. Ladies and gentlemen, young men and women, class of 2011, I wish you every success in life as you move on to greater opportunities. As you seek the finish line, please remember that the finish line does not come when you're 25. We are committed to lifelong learning. The greatest honor that you can pay to this great institution is to be faithful, dutiful, upstanding citizens who understand that this sojourn here on earth is preparatory to a much greater journey to come. Be faithful to the finish, and God has promised you the crown of life. Thank you.
Mrs. Joseph McKenna, thank you for your kind and instructive words of advice, for reminding us that we ought to be, and we ought to remember certainly our duties and responsibility, and for charging us to be a vehicle of change. Thank you so very much. Graduates of 2011, if you benefited and appreciated what was said, please give her another round of applause. At this time, I would like to present to you the teachers of 5A, Miss Jacqueline Lander and Miss Jasmine Francis. The teachers of 5B, Miss Ruan Saunders and Mr. Casper Francis. The teachers of 5C, my your humble servant, Mrs. De Freitas, and Mrs. Hazel Whitejack. In that order, as we present our certificates to our graduates.
For the boys of Form 5A, please stand. Aidan Atom Jr., please come forward. Gerald Batiste. Marcus Bartholomew. Please come forward. Shell Belgrove. Please come forward. Cohen Clark. Darren Gopal. Josiah Hussain. Jeremy Jack. Marine Kambute. Kylie. Anton Mark. Jason Noel. Kino Nora. Daniel Ugansalo.
Kadir Palit, Dylan Samuel, Ansel Thomas, and the best for last, Xavier Williams. Please keep standing for the girls. 5A, with Form 5A girls, please stand. Katie Keynes, Kelsey James, Michael Johnson, Zakia Joseph, Kelsey James, Michael Johnson, Zakia Joseph, Celeste Lewis, Nicole Mohammed, Shanisa Norton, Leah Roper, Chanel Simon, Ashley Stafford, Tiffany Thomas, Abigail Toussaint, and Ciara Wu. Please, Form 5A, turn to the audience and take a bow. Now this Form 5B.
Mr. Caswell, Francis, and I are asking all the males of Form 5B to please stand. Anthony Bastille, Jesse Boudou, Jacques Bain, Frankie Castillo, Luke Ferdinand, Keegan George, Jerome White, Alexander Jagan, mentor David Ogunsalu, Kent Sampson, Nicholas Small, Mark Mason, and Hazley Walker. Christopher Williams,
As Christopher returns to his seat, we ask the young men to remain standing as we call the female students of Form 5B. Please stand. Once more, Onika Andrews, Akila Batiste, Candice Charles, Antonia Figaro, Avril Forbes, Nisa Garraway, Gaynell George, Shadell Hamilton, Daniela Isaac, Monique Jaiparan, Ivana Palu, Chanel Lafleur, Latisha McLean, Sabella Noriega, Jade Pierre, Marisha Qualis, Daria Ryan, Maisha Robert, and Miss Shemiai Scott. Absent today from our 5B class, but still a member of our class undergraduate, we have in the males, Mr. Orion Charles, Mr. Kevin Derrick, Mr. Kareem Moore, and among the young ladies, we have Miss Lindy Muckey. We invite Mr. Francis and I, the graduating class of Form 5B, please turn to face the audience. We invite the representatives, the form teachers of Form 5C.
Thank you, Ms. Saunders. At this time, I want to invite the young men of 5C to stand as we get ready to call your names. Stefan Austin, Shaquille Risu, Brandon Dennis, Colonel De Silva, Daquan Edwards, Stefan Familier, Dominic Harrington, Joshua Guevara, Colin Hospitalis, ladies and gentlemen, the tallest individual I see Daryl James and Louis Truda Noriega, morning as I invite our young ladies of 5C to kindly take your places as you get ready to collect your certificates. The young ladies of 5C. And graduating in absentia this afternoon is Nikita Ashton, Chantal Batiste, ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Chantal Batiste, Crystal Bihari, Aisha Khalis, Nicolette Clark, Solange Critchlow, Gabrielle Emmanuel, Shauna Joseph, Jamila Lyons, Shirley Melville, Tahira Pierre, Diana Sutherland, Alicia Thomas, Amanda Thomas, to turn and face a very expectant audience. Kindly take it. Kindly take it. Kindly take it.
The following students who will be called are the recipients of the awards for Most Outstanding Performer in the 25 different subjects that these students at CC Secondary School sit for the Caribbean Examination Council exams. I'm going to call all the recipients to come forward and line up starting from my right as we present them their awards. Mr. Aidan Atom Julian, Ms. Monica Andrews, Mr. Dylan Samuel, Ms. Abigail Tuse, Mr. Jeremy Jack, Ms. Daria Ryan, Mr. Alden Lewis, Ms. Chanel Simon, Mr. Stefan Cornelier, Ms. Antonia Figaro, Mr. One moment. Mr. Dominic Harrington, Mr. Jason Noel, Mr. Kyle Lee, Mr. Nicholas Small, and Ms. Sherry-Ann Noel. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Aidan Atom Julian, Most Outstanding Performer, Agricultural Science. Receiving the awards for Most Outstanding Academic Performer in the areas of Bible, Biology, Chemistry, English A, Mathematics, Physics, Miss Onika Andrews. Receiving the award Most Outstanding Academic Performer in the area of Building Technology, Woodwork, Dylan Samuel. Receiving the awards for Most Outstanding Academic Performer in the areas of Caribbean History, English A, English B, Human and Social Biology, and Spanish, Miss Abigail Tucson. Receiving the awards for Most Outstanding Academic Performer in the areas of Electronics, Information Technology, Mathematics, Mr. Jeremy Jack. The Most Outstanding Academic Performer in the area of Electronic Document Preparation and Management, Ms. Daria Ryan. Receiving the award for Most Outstanding Academic Performer in the area of English A for the 5C group, Mr. Alden Lewis. Most Outstanding Academic Performer in the area of Food and Nutrition, Ms. Chanel Simon. Most Outstanding Academic Performer, Geography, Mr. Stefan Fanillier. Most Outstanding Academic Performer in the areas of Integrated Science and Visual Arts, Ms. Antonia Figaro. Representing the 5C group, Most Outstanding Academic Performer in the area of Mathematics, Mr. Dominic Harrington. Receiving the awards for Most Outstanding Academic Performer in the areas of Office Administration and the Principles of Business, Mr. Kyle Lee. This award is special since this class has a grand total of 1 student. But according to his instructor, he was most outstanding. We present the award Most Outstanding Academic Performer in the area of music, Mr. Jason Noah. Receiving the award for the Most Outstanding Academic Performance in the area of technical drawing, Mr. Nicholas Small. Receiving the award for Most Outstanding Academic Performer in the area of Social Studies, Miss Sherry Ann Noel. We have one more recipient that I failed to call. And God in His wisdom knows why this young lady had to be called at this time and given this special recognition. I invite Miss Kelsey James. Money makes the world go round, and I imagine this is why Kelsey is being called at this time. Receiving the award, Most Outstanding Academic Performer in the area of Principles of Accounts, Miss Kelsey James.
Thank you, Ms. Saunders, Ms. Landa, Mr. Francis, for our special awards. Someone once said that it's difficult to know where you're heading unless you know from where you've come. At this time, ladies and gentlemen, I want to invite 6 special young people who are going to tell us a little bit about from where they have come. At this time, I want to invite Mr. Jeremy Jack and Abigail Toussaint of 5A, Alexander Jagan and Onika Andrews of 5B, Chantal Batista and Alma Rose of 5C respectively, to give us a little bit of their journey through CUC Secondary in that area.
Director of the Education Department of South Caribbean Conference of Seventh-day Adventists, Mrs. Jessica Cunningham. Assistant Director of Education, Ms. Elma Frederick. School Supervisor of South Caribbean Conference, Mr. Aaron Smith. Other representatives of the South Caribbean Conference. School Supervisor from the Ministry of Education, Ashram Deoraj. President of the University of the Southern Caribbean, Dr. Trevor Gardner. Other USC representatives. Principal, Mr. Leslie Whistler. Vice Principal, Mr. Caulfield Santay. Guest speaker, Mrs. Nichols Joseph McKenna. Chairman of the School Board of Caribbean Union College Secondary School, Pastor Henry Snag. PTA President, Mr. Aldwin Ballard. Other representatives of the PTA, staff members of CUC Secondary, beloved parents, guardians, friends, well-wishers, fellow graduates, ladies and gentlemen, a pleasant good morning. As one of the representatives for Form 5E, what can I say about my 5 years here at CUC Secondary School? Well, what I can't say is that I started it with laptops for all secondary school children. But I will certainly remember these 5 years for the rest of my life. I now invite you to fasten your mental seatbelts as I reveal to you a few of the experiences that were part of our time here from the year 2006 to this present year, 2011. Form 1. Ah boy, Form 1. Those were the good carefree days. Before the mustache, before the beard. When I was still a young Jeremy-lette. However, though I can't say the same for some of us who are quite blessed with facial hair from a young age, I am sure 5A students will all remember who this is. Yes, Faroon. Faroon did not stay with us for the duration of our time here, but he certainly left his mark, even though he wasn't a barber.
it was very much a reality and quite a welcome relief from classroom activities. Form 2. I have little recollection of Form 2, and I wonder if this might have something to do with the fact that my mother taught me during that time. Just for that. I'm hoping she didn't get there to see that. However, I do remember our favorite classroom pastime. When we transformed the classroom into a football field, and we unleashed our boundless energies on chubby bottles with 2 chairs as a goal. That used to be level sweat in the classroom. Chubby bottles, of course, were always available, thus making them the perfect choice for footballs. But, sad to say, our prim and proper teachers weren't excited by our game as we were, and they soon put a stop to it. Our physical energies were to be transferred to mental activities from Form 3 onwards. As recollections of Form 3 come to mind, so does our good friend Luke Ferdinand. Unknown to our teachers, we gave him a special 3-year invitation for Form 3B to come downstairs and join us when teachers were not present. Our teachers, however, had outlawed such visitation rights to all students, so 3B soon had to go back upstairs. And how can I forget a certain classmate of ours who at that time firmly believed that the world was flat and that scientists were trying to get into our brains. He said, all anything on TV with space and people going into space and that kind of thing, that thing is T-fed. I will leave his name a mystery, but most of us 5-year students, I am sure, will know who I'm speaking about. Form 4 was the most memorable time. Well, for those of us who don't know, that person I was referring to just now was Mr. Ewan Selassie. Form 4 was the most memorable time with Mr. Cunningham and his maths lessons and lessons for life. With sayings like, a square is a rectangle, but a rectangle is not a square. Such wisdom only great mathematical minds can comprehend. Our 4th form year also featured promising young CUC entrepreneurs in the Bible Business Expo. So much talent was showcased that if only for our teachers who insist on teaching for academics, we would have transformed this school into the biggest business enterprise right here in Maracas Valley. No wonder our school placed first that year in the Bible Expo competition. Then, there was also a Brazilian student who sojourned with us in Form 5A for a short while. But apparently he had magician tendencies, because one day he just vanished. Up to this day, nobody is quite sure what happened to him. Yes, I'm speaking about Mr. Marcos Ticate. He was quite the star, even trying his hand, or should I say, his foot, at our BFL, that is, the Bible Football League. Many people visited Form 5A to see Marcos, the Brazilian. Now Form 5. Before I become too emotional, let me quickly reminisce about Form 5. It seems that if it were just yesterday. It was just yesterday. Just take a good look at us now. We have become one big family. We are indeed happy that throughout our 5 years here at CUC, a few students have joined our class family that is. And today, I must say that they are just as much a part of us as if they were here from the very start. I would also like at this time to take the opportunity to include 2 adopted members of our family, Nisha Exeter and Giovanni Emmanuel. The only who have looked out for us ever since they came here. Today, we, the Form 5s of CUC Secondary School, can be considered Form 5G. G for greatest class ever. Thank you.
Good morning.
is the sum of 5 years of seemingly perpetual torture and pleasure in 2.5 minutes. As I reflected on my school life at this institution, with the assistance of a few friends, we wish to share 3 annual events that made our school life memorable. Coming in third ranking or memorabilia is the Bible Football League. For some students, it was the thrill of playing and winning for their home class. For others, it was the sheer excitement of lining the corridors and screaming, sometimes accompanied by a watered-down gyrating on the courtyard. While for the less sporty, like me, it was an opportunity to ditch school early. Whichever category one fell into, one thing is for certain. Anytime we hear Bible and football in the same sentence, CUC Secondary and Mr. Casper Francis, fondly called Cassie, could be heard yelling, "Top of the line!" First runner-up, or in second place, is an activity that always occurs twice a week at this school. Fire, fire, fire! Yes, it's chapel time! We were transported from this mundane world to a heavenly realm by lusty singing, hilarity in some sermons, and also ludicrous chapel skits. CUC Chapel is unrivaled, except maybe by a CUC concert, or bigger still, the celebrated CUC retreat. However, due to a certain rule, what happens in retreat stays in retreat. That information is classified. Now for number 1, the big Boone. This candidate was here faithfully every day of our CUC lives. In any school, candidate number 1 is considered an essential, integral, and very necessary part of school life. No matter how much you may try to hide it, let's face it, at some point in time, you just had to have risked having it. And if it were for candidate number 1, the majority of us, like me, would not have come to school as often. This celebrated candidate has been awarded a theme song. I guess you're wondering who or what this candidate is. Well, we'll now have a moment of silence for our wonderful government, who, incidentally, is not our candidate number 1, but if it weren't for them, we would have this celebrated candidate, most famous for roti and shabby,
Let's hear it for candidate number 1 again. At this time, I want to invite Alexander Jagan and Onika Andrews as their
Morning once again. I am one of the representatives of Form 5B. This is my colleague, Onika Andrews. Firstly, we were granted the task to sum 5 years in 2.5 minutes. But now the task lies to compete or to compare with 5A. With 5A delegates such as Jeremy Jack and Abigail Toussaint. I am one of the fortunate ones to have spent 5 years at this fine institution. Within this period, we shared in the pain of losing loved ones and family separations, as well as rejoiced in the accomplishments of each other. In so doing, we laid the foundation for friendships to last our lifetime, and thus enabled us to share countless happy times. Happy times, such as in Form 1, where Mr. Cato took us on our cross-campus marathon, circling the car park, passing Cedar Hall, Linda Austin Hall, to and through this campus. Or in Form 2, where he also took us on our hike through the campus terrain, where we fervently traded effortlessly for 30 minutes. Or when Mrs. Hislop, as our agri-science teacher, took us on our one and only future as a class. Some say this was our one and only future because of our unorthodox, undisciplined, rhinoceros blast of behavior within a class. But I guess we'll never know for sure. This outing was at the Paramin Hills. At the Paramin Hills, we toured through their beautiful gardens, took pictures in the many caves, and experienced one of the most beautiful and magnificent views of Northern Trinidad. But the highlight of it all was our life in the BFL Football League. That is the Bible Football League, sorry. A championship title some may consider the most coveted title in CUC Secondary. In Form 3, we were runners-up for this title, falling short by just one goal. In Form 4, we eventually won this coveted title, but unfortunately, we once again became the runners-ups, giving our titles to Form 5. Through the 3 years in the BFL finals, we not only won, but introduced an even more prestigious title, which was graciously and fervently bestowed upon us, the best supporting class. This honor is bestowed on the class that boasts the most jubilant, effervescent, flagrant, rambunctious, the loudest, most energetic, most creative squad. And without a doubt, it was truly ours. We received an award in Form 3, a box of orchard and snacks. This award was never consumed by any member within the 5B class. We are not sure of what happened to this award. All that I can say is I hope it tasted very well, Mr. Francis.
Good morning, everyone. On entering Form 1, I was given the great responsibility of being part of the school student council. During my first year of school, I learned many things about the school. Most importantly, I learned about organization and discipline from Mr. Carter, who is the head of the student council. Now, I was always interested in drama, and in Form 3, I was selected to take part in our school concert. This gave me a chance to get to know some of my teachers in a setting outside the classroom. From this skit, I learned how good an actor Mr. Hislop is. I had never seen anyone who could fake a cry scene so well. But my favorite scene was with former student Jonathan Barron, who helped to instill the physics principle that says, for every action, there's an opposite or equal reaction. After this experience, I joined the drama club headed by Mr. Maitland. Being part of the drama club taught us how to assert ourselves and how voice tones play a great role in the emotion one is trying to bring out. We took part in numerous church visitation days held by the school and enhanced each with our dynamic, dramatic presentations. Despite how rushed some were, we always had fun. Over my time here, the school took part in many competitions. In Form 3, I was part of the team chosen to take part in the National Gas Company competition, which brought the knowledge of the oil industry to us and publicity for the school. Training for this was a lot of fun, especially with a teacher like Mrs. McPherson. While here, I came to love my teachers, in or out the classroom. For some, they were more than teachers. They were friends, mummies, daddies, our family. The bond created is one that cannot be explained, but will never be broken.
Mr. Francis, I was told to tell you concerning those awards and snacks that every action has an equal and opposite reaction. At this time, I'd like to invite Chantal Batiste and Anna Lewis.
We represent the Form 5C class.
During the first 2 years of our school life, we were under the principalship of Mrs. Janice Taylor. She was a very encouraging woman and was always ready, as she would say, to cut her skin when she knew we did not make an effort to do our best. She had her different ways of discipline. I'm sure a lot of us students can relate to being sent to her office, placed at the corners to kneel down while writing lines. There were always consequences for our actions. Her time went by and she passed away and left the school in the hands of none other than our present principal, Mr. Leslie, also known as the Giant Teddy Bear. He was the best man for the job. He is the best man for the job. He is doing it and more. He is a principal to all and a father to some. He always knew what to say and when to say it. Coming down to the end, when some of us expected him to give up on us, he was still there pushing us to stick at it and to do our best. A father disciplines his children as well. We would always know when we were in trouble. He would call us by our last names in his deep voice, and also make us give free janitorial services. Our 3C class was an unfortunate group to receive this punishment when we decided to host a class disco during class time. The disco started when Colin Hospital began to drum on the desk. Some of the other boys of the class joined in, and the girls began screaming and dancing. Alden Lewis and myself created the disco effect by flicking the lights on and off while flashing a red laser light around the classroom. We were all having a ball when someone shouted, "Earlier, Mr. Hislop, come in!" We all scampered to our seats and sat quietly pretending to do work. But Sir had already heard the commotion and had witnessed the disco lights. His response? The students of the then Form 3C who made sanitation engineers for the day. We have learned from this experience and have been made better, stronger, and tougher from the administrative styles that have groomed us over the last 5 years.
After 4 years of calling Mr. Hislop the VP, there was a new change in store for us that coming September, our first term in Form 5. On the first day of school in September 2010, we were introduced to a gentleman, Mr. Colville Sintele, as our new vice principal. With him came several new things for our school, and we were told that he was extremely gifted musically. Mr. Sintele established a new school choir that introduced CUC Secondary School to the rest of Trinidad and Tobago. We entered Sandfest and really made our school proud. This wasn't an easy achievement though. It was hustling to get from studies, classes, and even sacrificing our lunch breaks to practice, but it was very fun. When there was our annual Bible Football League competition, BFL, none of the choir members wanted to go to practice. especially we Form 5s when all classes were playing. Our favorite song was Poisson, Poisson, c'est tout bel déjeuner, a folk song about fish, where we sang our hearts out. We placed first in the school's large choir folk song category in Soundfest, which is a musical competition for secondary school. A significant feat for a choir that had only been established a mere 2 months prior to the competition. I was very fortunate to represent the school in the male solo category. Mr. Sintele and I rehearsed together, with him giving me new tips, and ever so often, he cracked some steel jokes. When I entered the Sandfest, I won my category and had the opportunity of performing at the National Academy for the Performing Arts, and I was awarded 3 trophies. They were titled Vocal Soloist of the Year, Susie Secondary School, Vocal Soloist of the Year, Alden Lewis, and the Joy Caesar Challenge Trophy. Sandfest was really a great experience for us, and I truly will miss our school choir as we leave Caribbean Union College Secondary School. I do believe that Susie Secondary has been pleased to have Mr. Colville Sintele to join the administrative team and look forward to hearing of the continued success of the school's music program. On behalf of my fellow colleagues and the graduating class of 2011, I say many thanks to the administration and staff of the Caribbean Union College Secondary School for the lessons taught, the memories made, and the growth encouraged. Thank you, and God bless.
Giant teddy bear. Given my size, that makes a lot of sense. The next time, ladies and gentlemen, you happen to be in Porter Space, you will notice that there is a very close relationship between Colville and Kitchener. Get my drift? If you're driving down Colville Street, the signs say Colville and Kitchener. And there's a relationship there, and I believe that there's a relationship with our Mr. Colville and the deceased Mr. Kitchener. However, at this time, ladies and gentlemen, no, that was not intended to be a joke. I'm sorry if I disappoint you. The joke is coming up. No, not Mr. Sintele. That's not the joke either. At this time, though, I want to invite Mr. Sintele as he leads out the graduating class in singing graduation song 2011.
find out all kinds of things that you didn't know all the time. And to those parents, I hope you got a snippet of the fun times that we had here together at CUC Secondary. I will say fun times, and I will leave it at that. I will leave it at that, right? Alright, I have been entrusted with the duty to charge you, so I will now do that. You have been, first of all, ensure your taxes on the left-hand side, please, all of you. Right. You have chosen as your team faithful to the finish. Yeah, we could debate that now, or we could just take it as that, right? It is therefore the responsibility of all of you in this class to ensure that whatever you begin, you finish. It is therefore imperative that I can't, I won't, and I don't be only reserved for things that are negative. Go out and conquer the world, but ensure that you remain faithful to the finish. You are hereby formally charged to hold that standard. You may now move your tassels to the right. Please turn around and face the audience. Ladies and gentlemen, I present you the graduating class of 2011, the graduates of 2011. And students, let me inform you that you are now officially alumni of CUC Secondary. It therefore means that you are no longer entitled to box lunch. You may turn around and take your seats. Thank you very much. I just want to. I'm taking the opportunity to do this here simply because I understand the impact that this individual has had on our lives. Before I do that, however, I want to recognize the presence of the Executive Secretary of the South Caribbean Conference, well, we have the boss and the underboss in the mafia world, so I can't call him the underboss, but second in command of the South Caribbean Conference, Pastor Leslie Moses, he stepped in while the things were in progress, so I want to recognize his presence with us. We also have the school supervisor for the Seventh-day Adventist schools, the Education Department of South Caribbean Conference, Mr. Aaron Smith, and we want to recognize his presence and welcome him here with us. And I want to recognize the presence of all our principals who are here with us. We have the principal of the Maracas SDA Primary School, Mrs. Bruno. We have the principal of the Port of Spain. Miss, you could stand and give them a little wave. I think the last time I may be able to say this is the principal of Maracas SDA Primary School in a capacity in a setting like this. We have the principal of the Port of Spain SDA Primary School, Sister Joan Murphy, who is also a member of the school board of CUC Secondary, and my very good friend. And then we have Mr. Sadie, Wembley Sadie. And I'll tell you this, in the circles of principals in Adventism, there are only two of us who are male. And this is the, in Trinidad I'm talking about, South Caribbean Conference. This is the other male principal that we have. He's at Siparia SDA Primary, and we want to thank him for coming all the way from Siparia to Caribbean Union College this morning. Thank you very much. We had the privilege of sharing a room together in the Hilton some time ago. I wouldn't, think whatever I want to think. I didn't say it, you think it, right? And I want to also introduce the other administrator of CUC Secondary, who is also, I welcomed her twice this morning. I should have probably done it 3 times, but I welcomed her twice this morning. She is the other administrator of CUC Secondary, but she's also a parent of 2 of the graduates this morning. Mrs. Thomas, thank you very much for being here with us, and her husband, Pastor Thomas, who is one of the pastors in the constituency of Caribbean Union College Secondary as well. Is there anybody else who I missed? Pussy, I'm coming to you. We have Pastor Jack, who is also a pastor in the constituency, and is also a parent of one of the graduates this morning. And let me see all the parents of graduates this morning. Just give us a nice little wave there, please. This would not be possible without you. And I have to say, it is the first time, literally, that I am so close to our graduating class. The first time, literally, that I am so close, physically and physically. But I had to say that. But it's also, I mean, I never knew that name. I never knew that. But I love these children to death. They have caused me much heartache and pain, but they have caused me a lot of joy. A lot of joy as well in the last 5 years. I really appreciate that. And I had the privilege over the last year of meeting one of the guardians of one of my students. Now the thing is, I met this guy some time ago, but had the privilege of meeting him in a different capacity within the last year. This is family. Pussy, Islam. It's nice to have you here, man. Right? This is blood family we're talking about. And that is just a preview of what I may look like when I get to about 80 years. I'm a little taller than that, but just a little preview of what I may look like. Lucy, thanks very much for being here, man. And to all of you who've been here today, thank you very much. I will now turn over to who is officially supposed to do the vote of thanks, Mrs. Dawn Smith.
Thank you, Mr. Hissey. In the interest of time, I'd say protocol not rushed. You see, just before the benediction is offered this afternoon, I have a special appetizer that must be served in a few short minutes. The only way I can achieve this, I must indulge the assistance of your attention. You see, the ingredients in this appetizer is said to have life-giving powers. It invigorates the soul and brightens the countenance. Who wants to help me? All right, we will get along with it with dispatch. I want you to take for me a dish of thank you for Miss Nickers Joseph McKenna, and tell her that we shall be faithful to the finish. While you are doing so, I want you to take another dish to the University of the Southern Caribbean. Tell them that we have said, thank you for allowing us to use your grounds. Thank you for this auditorium. And thank you for the support that you have given to us. Would someone please take this dish of thank you, or perhaps we can give it to Mr. Hisler to deliver it to Miss Rosie Moore, who played so beautifully for us. And please, give her lots of love and kisses. Okay, I'll need some big assistance here. You see this table? These dishes of thank you. They are for our parents. Their loyalty, their love, and the support and encouragement that they have given us for the past 5 years. All right, would someone please take this dish? Thank you to our examination invigilators for the comfortable environment that they created in the examination room. All right, Nicole, will you please take for me some dishes of thank you to all the hard-working teachers of Caribbean Union College. Tell them please, thank you very much. Would someone from 5C take to the people who are responsible for all the beautiful decorations we see here this afternoon? Mrs. Ruchan, Mr. Maitland, and even the pastor who allowed us the use of the beautiful palms, Daniel. Would someone please take them a special dish of thank you? Ladies and gentlemen, we must hurry. Time is fast closing on us. I need more assistance. I need someone to take a dish of thank you to all the people who have prayed for us, those who have just given us a kind thought. But you know the ones I especially want a dish of thank you to go to? Our critics, the guardians of truth and fairness and correctness. And finally, this table out here, it's set aside for all the people who have come here today. We want each person to get a special taste of this appetizer. Thank you.
At this time, we're asking our featured speaker, Mrs. Joseph McKenna. Please come forward. Mrs. McKenna, on behalf of the staff, the graduating class of 2011 of Caribbean Union College, we really appreciate the words of encouragement that you shared with us this morning to continue inspiring our graduates to remain faithful to the finish. We thank you for coming. God bless you.
While Mrs. Ruchan is coming, I just want to recognize two individuals. One of these individuals has continued to be a very ardent supporter of CUC Secondary over the years, and I trust that God will continue to bless her and her family. Mrs. Zita Lewis and your family, thank you very much. And she's also dual today as guardian of one of our graduates, so we want to thank you for your support over the years and continue to give your best to God. And also we have as one of our parents of one of our graduates as well, we have the the privilege of having the president of the Public Services Association with us here today, Mr. Watson Duke. Very effervescent character from my homeland. It's a pleasure to have him as part of this family experience. And I was saying earlier, I just want to inform you of something, and I'm going to utilize the opportunity to do it here because I know that this individual has been very critical in the lives of every single one of you who is here right now. And I want to take this opportunity to wish her the best in her future endeavors. Mrs. Justina Alicock is going to be leaving CUC Secondary come the end of this term. She is moving on to, she's migrating actually, and we want to just thank her very much for her service. So that those of you, I know usually what happens when teachers move on, we have them come back for the awards ceremony that we usually have in October. But Miss is not going to be here, so I'm taking the opportunity to say it now so that those of you students who would like to just touch base with her personally afterward, feel free to do that because she's not going to be here unless she decides to fly in for the day for our award ceremony in October, when you will be back to receive your awards coming out of the CXC results. So Miss, thank you very much for the dedicated service over the years. She also served as the vice principal in an acting capacity for the school when we were out of a second administrator for the period of about 2 years. Thank you very much, Miss, for holding my hand through those years. And she has been a faithful member of the administrative council of the school for the last, 6 years, Miss? Thereabout. I had the privilege of writing a very beautiful recommendation for her. I know she's going to do very well where she goes from this point on. Miss, God's richest blessings, and continue to give your best.
We'll now bow our heads for thanks. Heavenly Father, you have been really good to us, and you have brought this class safely through their course of study here. You have been with us through every stage of preparation and execution of today, and we thank you for your divine presence that has guided us through everything. Continue to bless these, our graduates, and be with them as we leave this place. Bless the refreshments as well. This is our prayer. Amen.